Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We are talking today to Nafisah Carter. And Nafisah is a celebrity hairstylist and owner of Piara Hair and Nafisah's Beauty Boutique in Raleigh, North Carolina. Nafisah started her stylist journey in North Carolina, and now she's taking that stylist skill and her journey's taking her all over the world. She is an international editorial stylist. She works in television, film, red carpet, and she's really a beautiful example of someone who started inside the salon, built her skill set, and then took it wider and out into the world, as well as being an entrepreneur, which we're going to touch on. So Nafisah, thank you so much for joining us. And why don't you, in your own words, why don't you talk about how you first became interested in beauty as a career?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. I started out, I guess, well, when I was little, I was always into all things beauty. So like hair, makeup, clothes. I had tons of baby dolls. I would do their hair. And so I knew that, I was very girly. But I didn't know that I wanted to become a hairstylist up until maybe college. And in college, I would, do the people in the dorm or some of my friends who would do each other's hair. My cousin also had a hair salon. So I would go over there and help her shampoo and answer the phones, anything that I could do to like kind of be in that mix. And I realized it was like really fun for me. It was fun. I saw people making money, and it just, I think that's when I really realized, like, wait a minute, I think I want to do hair. So I left college and I attended beauty school and graduated from there, and I worked in different salons. But then it was like, okay, I wanted something more. So I was like thinking, like, how can I work with celebrities? Because that's what I was into. It was like, yeah, I love working in the salon, but I also began to love entertainment and celebrity stuff. So I was like, okay, how can I work with celebrities? How can I get there, basically? So I did a lot of research, and I realized that New York for me would be like the perfect place to go. So I moved to New York and I worked for the Rita Hazan Salon, and I worked there for years, and I trained under like some of the top hairstylists in the world. I learned a whole lot, and I met a lot of people. But from there, I moved back to North Carolina. So I'm from North Carolina. I moved there and I moved back to North Carolina. And when I came here, what did I do? I actually worked in a few salons just to kind of give myself something to do. And then I opened up my business. So that's just kind of how I got into hairstyling, and then from celebrity to opening up my own business. And then when I opened up my business here, I was able to have a schedule where I could travel and do whatever I wanted to do. So I could do my clients here, I could service them here, I could service, celebrity clients, because I was on my own schedule. So it's like, this is like the best of both worlds. But that's just kind of how I got started. Just a lot of, researching, talking to people, and just kind of taking that leap of faith. And
You talked about some of these great hairstylists you worked under and with at Rita Hazan, and then also that you were really interested in sort of the industry, in the entertainment world. But who were some of the role models that kind of encouraged you along the way? Who were some of the people that pushed you a little bit?
Definitely my parents and my sisters. My mom, I would say, is like a huge role model for me as an entrepreneur and as a mother, because I am a mother. She owned a business while I was growing up, my sisters and I, and we learned a lot from her. So she actually had a high-end jewelry and accessories boutique here in North Carolina, and it was at the biggest mall here. So we were able to work with her, learn a lot about business, about customer service. She traveled a lot because she would have to go to trade shows in New York. And so sometimes we would go with her. So we would go with her to the trade shows, fly back home, doing inventory. We did it all with her, and she showed us. And it's funny because at the time, I just thought it was fun. I was like, oh, we're going to New York, we're going to New Jersey, because my parents are from New Jersey. And so I was able to see my grandparents and my cousins, and it was fun for me. And then we would go with her to New York, go to the city, go shopping, come back. And I think all of that, like flying there, coming here, I definitely picked that up. But I did see how she did that, and she balanced raising us, my sisters and I, and my dad as well, helped her, and he worked very hard. They both worked very hard. So I definitely know that they were my role models growing up, because I looked and saw the things that they did. They worked very hard, they had businesses, and they raised their kids. And that's just kind of what I'm doing now. It's like raising my kid, working, traveling, but still making sure that your kids come first. And that's a big challenge, but for me, I'm so big on taking care of, that's your first responsibility. So yeah. So my mom, for sure, because I saw her raise us very well, travel, run a business. And so yeah, my mom.
That's great. Did you have any hair heroes, any professional hairdressers that you really looked up to?
Yeah, Rita. I worked for Rita, and I definitely looked up to her. And when I worked in the salon, I was like, I want to be just like her. Because again, she was traveling all over the world. She was servicing all of these celebrities. And I would think like, wow, how did she do all of this? Now I'm in it and I'm seeing how she did it. But she was definitely, for sure, a role model. And I picked up on everything. It was like a sponge. Like I listened to everything she said, and how she treated us. And I learned a lot from her. And Kim Kimball is actually someone that I look up to. I don't know her, but I know that she's a really big hairstylist, and I really look up to her. I look at the things that she does. She has product lines. She works on film, and I really admire her. I don't know her, but I definitely admire her.
That's great. Well, so you talked about how you'd done research when you were interested in working with celebrities, and there's always got to be that, that first time, or that thing that sort of got the ball rolling. And I had a question for you about career highlights, but can you kind of first talk about how you did that research, and maybe some of your first opportunities to do the kind of work that you were hoping to do?
Yeah, I've had a lot of major highlights for myself. I would say when I worked in Dubai, that was like a big highlight for me. I never saw that coming. And I did research again, and what did I do? Oh, I would go on Instagram, and I'm like DMing people in Dubai. I'm like DMing people, hi, I'm a hairstylist. I would love to come out there. And I was like, I know people probably think I'm crazy, but I don't care, because I know what I want and I know where I want to go. So I'm just going to take the chance and do it. But yeah, I linked up with a girl in Dubai. They hosted me for an event. I taught some classes. I styled hair. So that was like really big for me. And then I would say Australia, working in Australia, because I had never been to Australia before. That was definitely really big. I styled hair, taught classes, and I would say, as far as a celebrity, I would think Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child, because I love Beyonce, I love Destiny's Child, I love Kelly, Michelle, all of them. So I definitely thought that that's definitely a major step for me in working on the cover of a magazine. So it was Michelle, and it was the cover of Sheen magazine. So just to do a cover, and then for it to be Michelle, it was like, oh my gosh, like this is really big. So I've had a lot of big moments.
Yeah, the just DMing people. Were you DMing hairdressers in Dubai or salons in Dubai, or who were you
Yeah, yeah.
contacting?
I would go on their hashtags. I still do it now. Like for anyone that wants to know how to do it, I do it now. I hashtag Dubai, Dubai hair salons, Dubai hairstylists, different things like that. And then yeah, I'll DM hair salons. I'm actually working on something with another salon out there now. I found them on Instagram. And I just DM different salons, different stylists, ask them if they want to, to get together and do some things. And some people say yes, some people say no, and it's okay. And the person that hired me to host their event, we DM'd each other a year before. And then she came back around and was like, hey, the person we had backed out, can you please come? I'm like, sure. But it was like a year later. I was like, of course I'll come.
That's a great lesson in just staying in touch, isn't it?
Yeah, and never giving up. Like, it just,
Yeah. And
mhm.
also not thinking that, oh, this is too out of reach, or this is
Yeah. Hmm.
um too random, just to
Yeah.
start contacting people. But
Yeah.
you're the perfect illustration of, you know, it works.
Yeah, it did. It worked. It really did.
And how do you describe, when you contact somebody, how do you describe the kind of work that you're going to demonstrate and that you're going to teach? What do you tell them you bring?
Well, for me, I specialize in natural looking hair extensions. So that's all I do. Like literally when I go to work, I do hair extensions every day. And a lot of people come to me because they want a natural look. So when I contact other people, I just, I let them know the services that I do. And, if you're looking for a natural approach of, whatever it is, blowouts, or I just feel like my style is very natural and glamorous at the same time. I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but I do love glamorous hair and natural. So I do that. And when I reach out to people, I do look at their page and I see the type of things that they do. So if they do like lots of color, then, I'll focus on that when I'm reaching out to them. But if I know that they do lots of hair extensions, then I'll just talk about that. So I look at what they do and then I'll, you know, ask them if they needed classes or something.
So because that was your style, you ended up kind of creating your own line so that you could create that signature style. And
Yeah.
you did have your mother, the entrepreneur, as an example of how to
Mhm.
do that. But talk a little bit about that. What was that process like, and why did you decide you needed to have your own extensions to be able to use in your work?
Well, I did so many hair extensions and I still do. And clients would come to me with hair extensions from other companies, and the hair just was not good quality. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here thinking, they're paying a lot for the service, but then the quality of the hair is not good. So, which means it can kind of mess up my service because it may not last as long if the quality of hair isn't good. And that really bothers me. And I don't like when people spend a lot of money on a product and it's not good. It's like you should, if you're going to spend the money on a product, it should be really good. So I want my client to have high quality products. And that was just very important to me. So I took the time to do a lot of research. Like I did tons of research, and it was years of trial and error, spent thousands of dollars that I didn't have starting out with, but it was just very important to me. I was like, I'm going to get this right. I don't care what I have to do because I want my clients to have the best hair. I want people that I don't even know to have the best hair. I don't want them to spend money on a product that doesn't work or that isn't good. So, yeah, that's what I did. It was years of research and trial and error, testing out different hair extensions, and I came up with really
That's
good
great.
products.
You know, you talked about some of your highlights, and there's more to come, obviously, but what have been some of the challenges that you've had in the industry or that you've had through your career?
I think a challenge would be with the hairline. That was definitely a challenge because you have to have patience, and sometimes it can be hard because you know you want something and you want it now, but it may not come right now. So with the trial and error, losing a lot of money, like I lost a lot of money, but in the end, you gain it. But I do think that that is definitely a challenge because you're constantly testing products and you know trial and error. You're paying $1,000 on something to see if it works. You get it, it doesn't work. You've lost $1,000. Now you get another 1,000 to see. So that's like for me, it was like a major challenge, and I'm like, can this? When is it gonna be right? I knew it would, but you just have to be patient. And I think starting the hairline was like one of my biggest challenges because it didn't come overnight.
Right. And few things do, right, that are really worthwhile.
Right.
We've also talked about the challenge in our beauty industry where there is often a preconception about what kind of hair you can do based on who you are, and
Mhm.
that there is a racial divide often in the industry between
Mhm.
the black artist, the black salon, the white artist, the white salon, and the kind of hair they do. Has that been something that you have encountered in your beauty career?
Um, I would say yes and no. I have, for me, I okay. I definitely went to, for my hair school. It was a black hair school, so it's all black people. We learned, it was all black clients. We learned that, but I wanted to learn more. I was like, okay, I can't just learn one thing. I have to branch out. I want to be the stylist where whoever comes in my salon and sits in my chair, I can do their hair, no matter who it is, because we're looking at the hair. We're not looking at the color of their skin. So I did have to work a lot of different places and take different classes to learn about different hair. So I was very knowledgeable on everything. I wanted to make sure of that. But I do know when, like, working in film, sometimes it's harder to get a job. It's the craziest thing. And sometimes you wonder, like, well, wait, I have the same skill set and, as the other person, or I might have more. And you think like how did they get the job and I didn't, and they don't know what they're doing. Prime example, last year I worked for New York Fashion Week. um I think maybe 3 other black stylists were there, but all of the models were white. And no, I'm sorry, I'm mixing it up. What happened? All of the stylists were white, maybe 2 or 3 black stylists, and then all of the, if I'm getting this right, all of the models were mixed up. Anyway, no one, they didn't really know how to do our hair at all. And it was crazy because it was just kind of like the people that were hired weren't the people that actually knew how to do the majority of the model's hair. And I just kind of was thinking, like, how did all these people get hired? I'm pretty sure there are tons of stylists. Like, maybe it could have been half and half, or like the ratio is kind of, I feel like it was a little off, because then I'm working overtime because I'm trying to do, what's in my chair, and then everyone else needs help. And I'm like, if they could have just like split it up and made it more even and equal, then me and the other person wouldn't be just like, you know, working like crazy. So I do think I definitely see that. I definitely see it. I haven't experienced it a lot, but I definitely see it a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
And so you just mentioned doing backstage and runway styling, and
Yes.
you've done editorial. You did Sheen. You've done film. What's your favorite? What's your favorite kind of hair to work on? What would you just say yes to every time?
Every time. I love shoots. I love shoots and I love red carpet. It's so fun. Like I love that. Yeah, I love red carpet. I don't know what it is. It's about, I guess it's, preparing someone for, it's like lights, camera, action type of thing. So I don't know if I like the thrill of it or I don't know, but I think it's really fun. And then you're able to watch them walk the carpet and people are screaming for them. And I don't know, I think that's really fun. And I definitely like shoots because believe it or not, they're more chill. They're more relaxed. It's like you come, you do your work, and I think it's more relaxing. They're in front of the camera, we're looking, and they take pictures and they come sit down, you touch them up a little. It's just very relaxing. So it's not like, red carpet when it's like 5 minutes until they have to be on the carpet, or it's not as rushed and crazy. But I do love both. So I definitely love both.
So with red carpet, because you have to get somebody ready, and that look has to last, and then maybe you're even going to transition their look if they're going to have a second look that night. So what are some of your maybe secrets? What are some of your best tips for that red carpet look?
Well, I definitely plan ahead if I can. I try to plan ahead and I speak to the team and ask the looks. So you have to try to get in with the stylist as well. The stylist and the makeup artist, we're all a team. So we need to communicate, come together. So that way I know what look can go to the next look. So I love to plan. So I have to plan it out ahead of time if I can. So let's say, for example, if we're doing a straight style and a curly style, I would definitely want to do the straight style first, and then by the end, go into the curly style. Because you don't want to go from the curly style and then now you're trying to straighten it out. And you may not have enough time to really get it straight. So it's very important to plan out the whole look. So that's one of my biggest secrets. I don't even know if it's a secret, but you definitely have to try to plan it ahead of time because you don't want to work backwards. And I think it's the same with makeup too. You don't want to do, a full, face with smoky eye and then the next look has to be a natural look or something. You
want to be able to build.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, my last question, and I don't know if this is hard to answer because so much has changed with COVID-19 and how we operate. But 5 years from now, we don't know what it'll look like. Things will be different. But if you had to project 5 years ahead, I mean, you'll have lived through this time. We don't know what that will look like, but what do you hope your career and your life looks like in 5 years?
Well, I definitely want to work in more film. Hopefully that'll happen before 5 years. Let's see. I want a school. I'm thinking about having a beauty school because I went to beauty school and I know the things that I would love to do different, even though I love my school, I really did. But I hear a lot of stories about different schools and I know my experience in my school and I just want something to be even better. It's so important for people to learn and to grow. It's so important to me. And I love to help people. So I want a school where people can really, really get everything. And I know in school you don't get everything. You just kind of learn a little bit and then you're gone and you have to learn the rest out. You have to learn a lot outside of school. But I just really want something to really prepare people for whatever it is, have extra classes, whether it's for, red carpet or television, film. We didn't have stuff like that at my school. It was a good school, but we didn't have it. So I do see myself in 5 years maybe having a school I do want to move, so I'm thinking about LA because it's good for film.
Right.
So I think that would be really good. But that would totally be before 5 years. But let's just say in 5 years, I'll be living there.
That's
And
huge. Yeah. That's great.
yeah.
I mean, 5 years, you can do that. You can do all
Yeah,
that.
I'm totally thinking, yeah, I'll definitely be in LA in 5 years because I'll be there before 5 years. But I'm really thinking about a school, and I know that will take time to, you know, build and just really have good plans, like lesson plans. I just want it to be really good. I know the things that I want in this school. So I want to help people, and I want it to be really good and very helpful and just
Well,
a
we'll
great
keep watching.
environment.
That's great. We'll keep watching.
Okay.
We will be cheering you on. And
Yay.
I really want to thank you for joining us. Can you remind everybody where they can find you? You have two different accounts on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Nafisah Carter, that's my main account, and then Piara Hair is the hair account.
Okay.
So
Great.
they can follow me on Nafisah Carter, Facebook, Instagram, everything, and Piara Hair as well.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your beauty journey with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to meet you, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thank you.